What's going on, folks? Painless. You see the title of the video. I figured I'd just kind of throw my 2 cents in there with this situation. I talked about it briefly. It's as all the actors are as they begin to insert themselves and have inserted themselves. First with Tommy, next with Umar or Cynthia G, whatever, whoever. Now DJ Envy. And see, there's talks as whether Kevin Samuels should take litigation or legal action. I will say this, to have a global platform such as the Breakfast Club, I think it was very irresponsible of DJ Envy to say the things that he said about Kevin Samuels. And I even go on the record and say that if Kevin Samuels was Caucasian, he wouldn't have said those things that he said. And I've said this many times before, that we as black folks in the so-called black community, it can be 100 white people, gallivanting around, moving around, and they can look the most suspect in terms of redneckish or hillbillyish, honky-tonk, rebel flag waving. If they see me, if a little Tyrone or Sean Davis sees me, he's going to try to eyeball me down. All these potential what we deem as oppressors are roaming around here willy-nilly. He's going to look at someone that looks like me and tries to buck up. And see, that's the mentality of the American Negro. And like I've said before, anytime this is why, people were doing this back in the mid-2000s. Well, what about solutions, Painless? And I said, what about them? You don't want solutions from me. Like I said, this is about black folks who get online, who talk about being oppressed and making anywhere upwards of $300K together as a couple. They're talking about oppression and defunding police. Are you going to make $300K? What the fuck? You know what? I'm going to stop swearing in my videos. Where in the HE double hockey sticks, Negro, will you make $300K in the world? Not only make that, but have the prerogative to complain about stuff while making said 300 plus K a year. Nowhere. Because if you were anywhere else and you were doing that and you were being saying things about your government, they'll probably cut your line, report you, and send your tail back to America. And I've said this again too. All you Negroes out here, if it's so god darn bad out here, go somewhere else. Move somewhere else if it's that doggone bad in America. But see, you ain't. You not going nowhere. Spare me. So yeah, DJ Envy, he wouldn't have done this if Kevin Samuels was white, because he perceives that, see, we prey on each other because we think we don't have any power. But see, and this is where I think Kevin Samuels should show this shine. Okay, since you think I'm a soft target because I'm black, because most of us as black folks, especially in the so-called low impoverished so-called communities, they know who to mess with. They know not to go over to Beverly Hills. I mean, if they do, they go at night. But they know who to prey on. And it coincides with black life doesn't have any value until it's killed by a white person. Just like, I mean, follow me, folks. A black life has no value unless it's taken by the life of a Caucasian. Black folks don't believe anything else from other black folks, but a black person can say the same thing that this Caucasian said, and because it came out the mouth of a Caucasian, oh, it's good as gold. See, there's something in that with the American Negro. Quick to prey on one another. Quick to believe the Caucasian and leave the Caucasian alone. Quick to do things that you would not otherwise do to the Caucasian. And I've said that many black folks in the so-called black community in North America have white man on the brain disease. Everything is as a result of the white man. And I said this, what you're inherently doing by doing that and believing that is you're giving them too much credit. You know, they're not superior to me. Well, shoot, you sure act like it. You got them, you every thought about, every facet of life and thought is about them from you. I mean, you got them on your mind all the time. You leave me no other choice to believe that you inherently think that they're better than you. See, I don't. That's why I have the belief in the way that I talk. I know white people are not superior to me. And then when you say that, superior in what way? In what way? See, DJ Envy had, like many others, he had the opportunity to be a friend or a foe. He chose to be a foe. He chose to be a foe. I've seen the Breakfast Club have pimps, guys in jail that have been in jail for murder or in jail for murder, dead because of murder. And you, DJ Envy, this is the person you chose to put your hat in slander. And I said this about these little, I can think back in time, spending time in the military, traveling the world, meeting a variety of brothers from all over. And see, these guys like Envy, DJ Envy, and these other little naysayers that have a problem with how can you inherently have a problem with what Kevin Samuels says? Now, I'm not a Kevin Samuels cheerleader or anything like that. But you know what? The buzz is out. And I am not, all the stuff, this whole manosphere thing, like I said, I've seen some of these guys' videos. It's like, okay, shit, great. Word is out. But I've talked about being a stand-up guy before. I've talked about how if I would be hard-pressed to do business with a guy who has who can't control his sexual appetites. And y'all who've been following me, I've been saying this for years. I've been saying I would find it hard-pressed if a guy had a wife and child at home and to do business with him if he was reckless in his extramarital affairs. I would be hesitant to do business. This is essentially what the manosphere is about. Being a stand-up guy. I've been saying this. So when I hear of Kevin Samuels, I'm like, it's a breath of fresh air. And big ups to that brother. How could you be a foe to someone like that, to me? And there's a couple people make up in terms of personality, i.e. you're jealous, you're a narcissist, which I think those people that I've mentioned in the beginning parts of this video are narcissists. They can't, it's all about, I'm hearing about views and stuff like this. I mean, I think in abundance. There's enough views. There's 7 billion, I'm trying to stop swearing, people on the planet. Now, of course, not all of them have access to the internet, but that's pretty damn plentiful. Why are you tripping over views? And why are you tripping over, what makes you think that because you hear, oh, he took my talking points. Like no one else could come up with this SHIT that you come up with. Hence, narcissism. To think that only you are privy of doing these things or saying these things. Narcissism. Jealousy, narcissism. Two personalities that make up people who could, especially as a guy, I can see women hating. But if you're a guy and you're a black male and you hate this guy, I mean, what has he done really? And then, like I said in the video before, calling this man, look. And if he is, does it change his doggone message? If he's a pillow biter, does it change his message? Does it make anything untrue? No. So then what? Say if Kevin Samuels came out and said, yes, I like men. What? What does that do? So like I said, DJ Envy, there is probable, cause for litigation, slander. Like I said, I think that was very irresponsible. Again, and this is what black folks do. When the ad hominem attacks, a hominem attack is nothing but cracking, clowning, snapping, bagging, which is what black folks do. But see, it's a new day. Like I said, if he was white, DJ Envy wouldn't have done this. But see, DJ Envy could be in a position where he's bitten off more than he can chew. And sometimes you need this humility. You need this. Like I said, I'm not about to get out here. They say, why call the cops on a black man? Do you know what? Well, you know what? He shouldn't be out here doing things to make police get called on his butt. I'm going to use the police. You can think you can defund the police. I'm going to use the police. You think I'm about to be out here tussling and busting up my knuckles? No. First off, I own too much. You know what? I'm not even going to go there. But I'm going to use law enforcement and the courts to hit you where it hurts. Well, I ain't got nothing. Well, when you get something, it's mine. So, however you want to do it. Taking your tail to court. That's right. See, that's and I've always been, and I've been a proponent of that. I've said that I'm not about to get out here and be world starring it and fighting and arguing. Hold my beer. That's all I'm going. I'm gonna hit you with that number. Hold my fucking beer. That's right. I'll see your tail in court. See, that's we know that's white. Yeah, it is, and you about to see. Because I'm not gonna play. See some. And you know what? As I've done this video, I hope Kevin Samuels takes DJ Envy to court to show him, to teach him a lesson. Because many times, us as black folks, we become victims by other black folks. And these black folks who have this shoot first, ask question later mentality don't think we're going to do nothing. And they need to be made an example of. They need to be made an example of. See, they don't do that to white people until they pushed. But see, all these little flare-ups and all this stuff, yeah. You know, like I said, all these videos, you don't see the back end. You don't see the back end of this. So, I'm going to leave it at that. Painless out.